Hey everybody, Superphiz here from the EthStaker community, reddit.com/r/EthStaker and invite.gg/EthStaker. Today is November 27th. I do daily state of the stake videos to help you keep up to date with what's going on. I'm calling myself a beacon chain community health consultant. So I keep you in the loop and I help keep the network healthy by sharing information. So I have a lot to share today. I'm very excited about it. Let me go through it. First is a survey by Carl Beek. That's at Carl Beek, CarlBeek, at Twitter. He's one of the, I believe he's a researcher. And so he asks two questions about client diversity. And the first one he asks is, which Eth2 validator client do you plan on running? And so 41.8% of people at this time plan to run Lighthouse, 37% plan to run Prism. And that's actually a bit of good diversity. The thing that I want to do is encourage you to check out both Nimbus and Teku. The thing that you're going to find from me is I'm always going to root for the underdog in client diversity. And right now that underdog is Nimbus. Nimbus runs on 1/3 the memory of other clients and on one CPU. So it is great for low-powered setups. And so I did test Nimbus several months ago, but I haven't tested it lately. I do plan to install it today and run a validator on the Piermont testnet and maybe move to a mainnet validator with Nimbus. But I cannot overstate the value of client diversity. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but the best thing any of us can do for the network is to use the least popular of the 4 launch clients. That means that if something does go wrong with the network, it will have the least, it will minimize the detrimental effect of any client failing if we're all stratified on those different clients. The second one may be a little bit more concerning, and I have to take some responsibility for this. Carl asks which Eth1 client you'll be using, and 78% will be using Geth. I am a happy Geth user. I do kind of have, so I have a lot of confidence in Geth. I've been using it for years. I'm very happy with it. And I don't have as much exposure to the other 3 clients, Besu, Nethermind, and Open Ethereum. But I would really encourage you to check out Besu right now. It is the Eth1 client with the least market share. I have never used it. I'm willing to try it. But the best way that we can remain healthy as a community is for us to remain diverse in our setups. And so if you're setting up new today, why not try Nimbus and Besu? That's what I'm going to do on my testnet setup. I was talking to Preston Van Loon the other day on Discord, and we were kind of talking about the need for a UPS, and I was sort of thinking about UPS as a tool for maintaining uptime, but Preston brought up a valuable perspective that it's not just about uptime, it's about gracefully shutting down your machine. So if you have a quick outage, if you have a 2-second power flicker and your machine goes out, you could corrupt your slashing database, you could corrupt your chain, and so the best way to prevent that from happening is running a UPS. You don't have to have an expensive one. What you need is enough time to be able to shut your system down gracefully. And I have never set this up, but I do know that you can integrate many UPSs into your operating system so that when the power goes out, they will shut down gracefully. And so I just want to encourage you to think about setting that up. Danny Ryan's Eth2 updates came out today. That's number 21. You can find them at blog.ethereum.org. Danny encourages everybody to be ready to add updates to, ready to install updates to their client in the next week before launch. Even though all of the clients have released a version 1 of their software, there is still a fair chance that they'll be doing some updates between now and launch. And the real thing here is, if there's an update the night of launch, you can be pretty sure that it's an important update. So what I'd like for us to do is 4 or 5 hours before launch, just verify that your client is the most recent version. And really for the next week or so after launch, you have a job, I mean, it does pay you, a job to make sure that your client is up and online and updated. It's a very serious responsibility, and I know you take it seriously, but you cannot set this and forget it in the beginning. Now, I do think in a year or so, actually in 6 months or so, you'll be able to set this and forget it for a long period, but we're definitely not there yet. There will be updates. I can practically guarantee it. There's a really neat checklist developed by Xiaowei Wang. You can find her at Icebear, ICEBEAR HWW on Twitter, and she has a checklist at launchpad.ethereum.org/checklist, and it's really a checklist before you stake. There are a lot of great hardware recommendations. So port security for each of the clients, setting up time sync, choosing an Eth1 client, choosing an Eth2 client, making sure you have the latest beacon chain software, making sure you're signed up for updates from your preferred client, importing key stores, backed up the key stores, and also mentions about monitoring like Prometheus and Grafana. And also a great note about POAP. You know that I am a huge fan of POAP. I'd talk about it all day if I could. We're offering 3 types of POAPs on launch. I'm going to get it wrong. Go to Beacon Chain, beaconcha.in/POAP, and read about the POAPs we're offering. What I can say easily is all of the first depositors into the deposit contract will get a POAP, but there are also POAPs for validators in the first couple of 1,000 blocks if you set your POAP string in your client to kind of signal that you want to receive that POAP. So I would definitely check out Beacon Chain/POAP. So something came up yesterday. What I think was an innocent user sharing a comparison chart of some staking pools, and it was clearly promotional material for a staking pool that's kind of disguised as a comparison chart. I just need everyone to be sharp on their toes for staking pools right now. I'm not against staking pools. I am going to support, encourage, and promote them at some time. Not everyone can solo stake, and I know this. But what I need to encourage you to do is wait before participating in a staking pool. Right now, the game is for solo stakers. If you're not a solo staker, that is fine. I'm great with that. But what I don't want you to do is YOLO into a pool and then find out later that your funds are gone, because that hurts your feelings and it hurts my feelings. So I want you to participate in staking. What I want you to do is give some time for the Ethereum Due Diligence Committee. That's at ETHDDC.org. Give them a couple weeks. I think 2 weeks they're ready for their first data dump. And you'll be able to get a better view on which staking services you can trust and which ones you should stay away from. I'm not endorsing any staking services, at least none that are going to be available at launch. You all know that I'm a fan of one of the services, and that's fine. I'm allowed to do that. But no matter where you stake with, I'm encouraging you to wait before you solo stake until you see results from the ETHDDC. They're probably going to be glowing, but what concerns me is people getting sidelined into one of the pools that is not providing a safe product and losing funds, and then we're all sad. So the very last thing I want to talk about today is the launch call. So on December 1st at 11:30 a.m. UTC, that is 5:30 a.m. CDT for me, we will host a launch call that will stream from the Ethereum Foundation YouTube site. The link isn't up yet, but when it does come up, we'll be sharing that widely. And I hope you can join us for the celebration. I know that we'll have a lot of interesting people. We'll spend about 30 minutes getting comfortable with what's going on, and then we'll be there to watch the launch and talk about block proposals and participation and the health of the network for about the first 3 or 4 epochs. So it should be really interesting. I can't wait. I'm ecstatic about it. I hope you'll be there with me. So yeah, that was a lot of information. My goal is to kind of condense and help us all remain on the same page. Not for my sake, but for yours. I hope you check these out regularly. And yeah, take care. Have a great day. Superphiz out.